You are not here to stay the same. You are here to outgrow the older version of yourself. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually, and most of all, psychologically. The difference between the people who win and the ones who remain stuck is not in talent or luck. They build an internal structure that carries them through setbacks, doubt, and pressure. Not as someone trying to become successful, but as someone who already holds the mindset of success. This mental frame changes how they act. They do not ask, "How can I stay motivated?" While most people avoid discomfort, winners see it as training. A moment to stretch, not shrink. A signal not to quit, but to push. And that is where the growth happens, where the old self cannot follow. But because they know the cost of staying the same, they live as if it is already true. That mental rehearsal rewires their brain. It sharpens their confidence. What they allow into their attention because they understand one truth. Your environment either strengthens your psychology or poisons it, because when you believe you belong at the next level, you start moving like it. They do not fear change, they fear regret. They know the past version of themselves would love to have the strength they are building now, so they stay in the work, day by day, win by win, where new results begin to emerge. They understand that discipline is not about forcing, it is about choosing. Choosing to keep promises to yourself. Choosing to act when it is easier not to. Choosing to break cycles your old self kept repeating. They ask, what would a disciplined person do right now? They shift from wanting to doing, from reacting to leading. And they use that structure to defeat their old habits, old patterns, and old excuses. You are not competing against the world. You are competing against who you used to be, with clarity. They are not perfect, but they are consistent. And consistency is what separates progress from stagnation. They analyze. They reflect. They adapt. They speak to themselves with focus, not fear. With strategy, not shame. Because winners are not just physically tough, they are mentally precise. It is in mindset, in psychology, in how they see themselves and the world around them. Winners do not wake up feeling unstoppable. They train their minds to become unstoppable. The psychology of winners starts with identity. They see themselves differently. They do not negotiate with laziness. They do not argue with distraction. They replace it with structure, with commitment. Winners use their pain. They turn it into power. This mindset is not built overnight. It is carved daily, in silence, in practice, in the small decisions nobody claps for. When winners fail, they do not fold. They feed their minds with challenge. They seek feedback. They build resilience by staying uncomfortable on purpose. Winners are obsessed with growth, not because it sounds good. They use visualization as a weapon, not just hoping, but seeing. Their mind rehearses their future performance, their future focus, their future strength. Winners protect their environment. They do not entertain negativity. They are ruthless about what they consume, who they surround themselves with. They manage their self-talk like strategy. They do not let weak words settle. When the old self whispers, "I can't," they answer with "I will." It depends on powerful responses. They can get knocked down and still think like a winner, still move with intent, still plan with clarity. Because one bad hour does not define them. One slip does not derail them. They know who they are and who they are becoming. When it says, "I always fail," they respond with, "I always learn." Your new self acts on belief before proof even exists. That is how transformation begins. That is how momentum is built. That is how the next level is reached, consistently. Without needing applause, you need to remind your brain that it works for your goals, not your fears. That your identity follows your behavior, not the other way around. This is how winners think. This is how they move. And this is how you rise. Their internal voice is trained on progress, on power, on precision. Let it watch you build something it never could. You earn it through movement, through showing up, through building a track record of following through. Your old self will scream for comfort, for shortcuts, for excuses. Let it scream. Then move anyway. The psychology of winners does not depend on perfect days, and they make it personal. This is not just about achievement. It is about reclaiming who they are meant to be, about proving to the old self that their story is not over, that growth is possible, that identity is flexible. They know that feelings change, but standards do not. They know that some days are harder than others, but standards stay steady. That is what turns habits into muscle, mindset into mastery. That you do not need to be defined by the version of you that gave up too soon. The winner's mindset is grounded in action. You do not think your way to confidence. Stop dragging the old self into places it does not belong. The psychology of winners is not something you are born with. It is something you choose, something you install, something you repeat until it becomes your new operating system. Winners act in alignment with their future, not their feelings. Your old self wants proof before it believes. So stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect mood. You are not here to repeat cycles. You are here to break them. You are not here to impress others. You are here to outperform your old self. Quietly, the truth is, you already have what it takes. You just need to remember, and then act on that memory. When you feel the pull to quit, remember, this is your old self trying to survive. Let it go. Let it fade. This is your time, not to compete with others, but to compete with who you were yesterday.